Dear viewers of Leap of Faith TV, it's been about 35 to 36 days of journey into the Lenten season, and we are approaching the climax of the church's liturgy. We are approaching the climax of the Lenten season. And what is that? It's Holy Week. We are beginning to prepare ourselves to enter into the Easter Triduum, comprising of Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, and it is going to end after the evening prayer 2 of Sunday evening. That is the Easter Sunday evening prayer. And we are being ushered into this week by Palm Sunday. During Palm Sunday, Christians, they process into the church with palms, commemorating how Jesus journeyed into Jerusalem, how the people ushered him into Jerusalem as a king. And the mood with which we enter the Mass on Palm Sunday is quite joyful. But leaving the Mass, we are a bit depressed. Why? Because the Gospel passage is going to bring about the passion of Jesus. It's going to tell us how Jesus is going to suffer within this week. And therefore, we are leaving the liturgy today with a lot of thoughts in our minds. How is this Holy Week going to be like? And therefore, we're invited to journey into Jesus Christ, his passion, his death, and to resurrect with him on Easter Sunday. We are going to intimately get ourselves actively involved also into this passion. We put our crosses and attach them with the cross of Jesus. We have been carrying them throughout our lives. The burdens we have been carrying in our lives, we journey with them, uniting them with the cross of Jesus as he carries our sins upon his shoulders up to Calvary. There are different persons who will be coming in during this week to give us reflections on particular aspects of this passion. Maybe we can call it the stations of the cross, as we have been journeying for this past 35, 36 days. And to begin with, I would like us to first look at the first aspect, the first station, which we prayed throughout this Lenten season. It says, Jesus is condemned to death by Pilate. In another way, we could say he is unjustly condemned to death. Why is Jesus condemned? Is there a crime he committed? No. But he's condemned from the political point of view. Pilate was a political leader, and charges were brought before him. Even when he found no fault in Jesus, he decided to condemn Jesus. Why? To please his reputation, to please the religious authorities, to please his citizens. Imagine the number of people who continue to suffer in our society today in like manner like Jesus. People are unjustly condemned for what they didn't do. People are being accused here and now, every moment of their lives, for things that they are not guilty of. But they have to suffer so that other people's reputations will be upheld. People are being put in positions that they may be able to serve everyone in the society. But for them to maintain their positions where they are seated, for them to maintain themselves as leaders, they want to blaspheme other people. They want other people to undergo persecution. Others even end up dying. Imagine in our communities how many people are being killed daily because they stood for the truth. Imagine how many people are hated in our communities because they stand for what is right. It might be you yourself who has plotted against others. Imagine the people who might be going through who are suffering in this life because of you, because of one thing you said which was not true. You also participated in that person's passion. And when Jesus says, whatever I do to these little ones, you do to me, it means that Jesus continues to suffer in our brothers and in our sisters because we continue to persecute them and we accuse them wrongly. I want to also imagine that it could be you yourself watching me who is undergoing pain and suffering at this point. Maybe for something you didn't do. It could be at your place of work, it could be at the level of the family, or you are being accused and you have to face penalties. Some people's salaries are reduced here and there. People are suspended from work. People are mistreated, people, the families are crumbling, relationships are crumbling, marriages are breaking down. Why? Because somebody somewhere decided to bring out a lie, and that lie is being celebrated as truth. And that is the problem with today's society, that people give a standing ovation to lies. We clap when people tell lies. But when people say the truth, we look for different ways to bring them down. We could be condemned, people, we could be suffering because of our talent, because of our giftedness. And then because of that, somebody sits somewhere and feels like, I should have been the one. And then they bring out different things just to bring you down. I want to assure you, if you are going through that moment, like Jesus, who is unjustly condemned, and he has to undergo the passion innocently, let us bring those our difficult moments, the crosses we have in our lives, and unite them to journey with Jesus more intimately to Calvary. Believing, like St. Paul says, if we have died with Christ, we are also going to rise with him. And when will that happen? On Easter Sunday. When Jesus Christ rises from the dead, he gives assurance, he gives hope for all his followers and all believers, that if I have died and have risen from the dead, you also, by dying with me on the cross, you are also going to have life and have it to the full, as he says in John 10:10. The words are written behind me here from Matthew 11:28 says, come to me, all of you who are burdened, you who are carrying heavy loads, and I will give you rest. But we cannot have that rest unless we have really proven that we are journeying with Jesus, united with him in his pain, in his suffering, and in his death. That at the end, we can have rest through the restoration of life that he is going to give us at Easter. And therefore, as we look forward to this Holy Week, let us journey with Jesus in prayer. Let us continue to put ourselves into the shoes of Jesus, into the pain and into the suffering, uniting our own life challenges, bringing those who are suffering in our society unjustly, that Jesus may be able to be a source of consolation, a source of hope for them. And that at Easter, when we sing the great Alleluia, we shall be rejoicing with the Lord for having restored our life, for having conquered death, and for having brought us in communion with his Father. And therefore, I wish you a blessed Holy Week, and I hope it will be a fruitful and prayerful moment for you. God bless you, and see you in the next edition.
Hosiana, Hosiana, hahirwa umwamuje mu izina ry'Uwiteka, amahoro n'icyubahiro biba hasumbaho.